It seems my subordinates failed to stop you in your tracks.
Apologies, sir.
There is no need to apologize. You did well to hold your ground against such a powerful adversary for as long as you did.
So, you're in charge here, huh? First the problems with Irminsul, now this mess in Gurabad?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that. I assume you aren't naive enough to expect answers from an enemy.
Ugh, this guy is so snooty! However you want to spin it, you're clearly involved in this somehow. So you can either start talking, or we'll have to make you talk. Let's get him! Traveler? Who's...
You're remarkably calm. Some would act more rashly upon finding the ringleader all alone. But you keep your cool. Even as your enemy, I must applaud you.
Did you show yourself just to say that?
Is this you trying to take back control of the conversation? I am here merely to indulge my own curiosity. Your names are well known among the Fatui.
Hey! Don't treat us like we're some kind of exotic animals in a...
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. You seem rather predisposed to misunderstand me. I'm quite aware that you are both heroes of great renown. You have resolved crises in many nations and won countless allies along the way. I've been following your adventures with great admiration. My only regret is that the trajectory of your journey conflicts with our...
What do you mean, admiration? Sorry, but that sounds pretty weird coming from you.
I don't see why. We may happen to occupy opposing sides, but there is no cause for deep-seated enmity between us. To respect one's enemy is to respect oneself.
Well, now that you're observing us up close...
I've observed as keenly as I can. Yet, while I endeavor to understand, your true strength remains a mystery. Violence is not my area of expertise either, so, you see, I would much rather converse with you like this than determine a victor with the edge of a blade. Besides, I've heard that even 3 moons in the sky fail to eclipse your brilliance. I know better than to bite off more than I can chew.
3 moons?
So, you have a connection with the Harbinger, the Doctor.
Well deduced. Our commander, Dottore, died in Nodcry, but there are things that do not end with his departure. We must... Look at me. I almost divulged more than I should have.
What are you after? Revenge for Dottore? Or are you plotting something else?
I've said quite enough, I believe. There's no point in continuing this conversation, except to say, I've noticed that you seem to know your way around here quite...
Ugh.
I'll take that as a yes. Then I'm sure you'll have heard the story of this place. The mother of the Jinn, Lilupar, and the tragic tale of her vengeance that's... It was right here that Lilupar once helped the wise to ascend to the throne. But from that moment on, every king who sat upon it was corrupted. These degenerate rulers lost control over their nation, and with it, the right to occupy that exalted seat.
What are you trying to say?
I once admired you for your adventures. That is the earnest truth. But it appears to me that your journey... Are these rules truly just? Does the heavenly principles rule with wisdom or folly? And how can we be sure that the 7 who wield authority over the world will not be corrupted?
Do you seriously think you're gonna convince us of anything?
Convince you? I'm sure my commander already tried that. Why would I waste my breath doing the same? If a few words from a stranger were enough to make someone completely change their stance, it would only prove that they never had a firm will to begin with. I am merely stating my position. so that we might understand each other better. One's enemy in the present may not necessarily. As for what game I'm playing here, I'm simply buying some time. But now I must bid you farewell. It was a wise decision not to attack me immediately. Since you did not fall for my ambush, I will now have to ask those in hiding to reveal themselves.
Leave this to us, sir.
Very well. I trust you to do what is necessary. Stall her while I execute the next step. Sumeru City, Irminsul.
Hey! Stop right there! Don't you...
All units, stop them! Protect the commander!
Did you hear that? He mentioned Sumeru City and Irminsul! He definitely knows something! We can't let him get away! Get rid of these pesky soldiers! Quick!
Rear guard to the front! Don't let them through!
Get that thing in position!
Hold on! Just a little longer!
Lane. Coming at ya! We finally beat them! That mysterious guy can't have gotten far! Let's catch up with him! Found him! Over here!
You're very persistent.
Hey, you! Stop running and explode! What's this?
Relax. A small trap like this won't be. The sandstorms from Gurabad will die down soon enough, but this small window of time was all we needed to launch the next phase of our. Don't be discouraged. I knew that someone would come here, where to chat with you, which door to exit from, even which mechanism to wait by for you. I thought through every detail. You, meanwhile, know nothing of who I am. So far, you've only heard my voice, and for all you know, it may not even be real. But not to worry. This is only our first meeting.
Just answer me one last question. Why do you continue to follow Dottore? He has conducted countless cruel experiments, even on his subordinates.
Follow isn't quite the right word. Let's just say even those you see as villains have their friends, even if they aren't the most sincere of friendships. When any set of rules is established, there will be those who benefit and those who lose out. People will do anything to justify what they have gained or escape from the hardship, and neither he nor I are tolerated by the rules of this world. We were both searching for a new order. Our ideas of the final form that should take may have differed, but our journeys took a shared path. Goodbye, Traveler and Paimon. I wish you a timely escape, albeit not too soon. I will need a little more time to prepare.
Hey! Come back! Wait, this dark wall. We've seen these on our adventure. I'm sorry. She shouldn't have jumped the gun. Oh, okay. Yeah! Any luck?
When I heard that loud rumbling in the distance, I thought the shifting sands had bust open the gates to some ancient treasure vault.
Huh? Wait, that sounds like...
It's been a long while. Did you miss me?
Jeht! Ben!
Let's save the catching up for later. First, I gotta get you guys out of there. This should be the right mechanism. Ben, there we go. Come on, let's leave.
Those Fatui sure made themselves scarce. It's like they were never here.
The Fatui? They came to the desert again?
Yep. No idea what they're planning this time. They were being...
How have you been, Jeht?
Well, since we last met, I've started my own band of mercs. We've actually made quite a name for ourselves. Oh, yeah. On a slightly different note, I finally took care of Mystérieux. Not much to write home about. It was just another day. Found his hideout. Dragged him out of his cozy little bed. He tried to talk me into seeing his point of view, as usual. But I'm way past that by now. There was nothing he could say to save his life. What about you guys? Bet you'd forgotten all about me and Ben, huh?
Of course not! We're super duper best friends!
Wow. Sounds like I should make time to visit some other nations too. Anyway, what brings you to go-
Oh, right. I almost forgot.
That bottle? Seriously?
Yeah! We need her power to calm the Jinn and stop the sandstorms. Here's hoping we actually manage to find her, after all the trouble we've been through. Surely with everything's been Let's see. She should be Aha! Found...
What a long dream that was. It's been a while, my master. Oh, and you're here too, little wildcat. The four of us back together again. And after we last parted ways, I merged with the land beneath Gurabad to suppress the dark calamity stirring in the depths. It rekindled the flame of vengeance within the Jinn, depriving Gurabad of any hope of peace. I fought against it for a long, long time. Until one day, I sensed a change in a foreign land to the west. Once satisfied that that dark power could no longer bewitch the Jinn, I too fell into a deep slumber, from which I have only now awoken. Why have you returned to Gurabad, my master? And why is my sand-swept homeland in disarray once more?
Well, basically, Sumeru's in danger and a lot of our friends are affected. Some bad guys messed around with Irminsul and now they've released the Jinn in here. We managed to chase off the culprits, but we have no idea how to seal...
Child's play. I shall quell the Jinn and scatter the storm. Thank you, Lilupar. No need to thank me, my master. I have granted many wishes in my time, and this was the most trivial of them all.
The sandstorm's gone. The sun shines bright again. When I said that we'd meet again under a lovelier sun, this was exactly how I...
Yay! Although, honestly, Paimon would love to hang out with you more. Even if the weather's... Well, there shouldn't be any more Jinn breaking out, right? Are we okay to head back?
Sounds good. You can introduce us to your other friend.
Another adventure begins.
So, this is the Temple of Silence. I've heard the Nagarjanites mention it in passing, but I never imagined it would be this big. It's colossal.
I thought the temple moved to the rainforest ages ago. When did they scamper back into the desert?
I don't know. This plan sounds...
Even in King Deshret's day, this was experimental technology. We have
Well, unless you know of another viable alternative for the Akasha terminal, I'm afraid this is our only option.
The plan is sound, and the risks are manageable. However, If we are to proceed, the scale of this project is enormous. Even with Kave, Faruzan, and every other scholar of mechanics working on it full-time, the proposed modifications won't happen overnight.
You're back. Everything all right? And who?
Friends of yours?
Pretty much everyone in the Temple of Silence is. This guy's Kave, and the one next to him is Alhaitham.
Hello, I'm Jeht, and this is Lilupar.
Oh, a famous name from the history books.
Pleased to meet you. A friend of a friend is a friend of mine, as they...
Who's they?
Huh? Do people not say that?
Not in the desert. Friends you can trust, but friends of friends? Gotta keep an eye on them. Still, I do trust the Traveler's judgment. I'm sure you're good people.
The sandstorms have calmed down. I take it the Gurubad problem is resolved?
And after getting all smarmy with us, he trapped us there. Luckily, Jeht used the mechanism outside to free us and...
Wow. Thanks for being there to help them.
So... this mystery man openly admitted that he was merely a harbinger.
Yeah? Is there something weird?
I assume you aren't naive enough to expect answers from an enemy. Well deduced. Our commander, Dottore, died in Nordcry.
Are you wondering about his true identity? Or do you think...
I wouldn't go as far as to call it a conspiracy. Just the simple fact that having someone to shift the blame on tends to prove useful should trouble come knocking later. The most important thing for now is to solve the immediate problem. Perhaps that man knew you wouldn't have the resources to investigate his background and so didn't put much effort into
This is all getting a little cryptic for me. I'll let you guys talk.
Jeht?
Aren't you with the Blazing Beasts? What a coincidence. Didn't it?
We're mercs. You can run into us anywhere. Who's this with you?
So, did you find the solution you were looking for in the Temple of Silence?
You bet we did. This place is incredible. So far, we've discussed a plan and verified its feasibility. Building a new system from scratch is out of the question. So our only option is to modify the Akasha using certain resources.
According to certain sources in the Temple of Silence, there is a core device in King Deshret's mausoleum known as Aru. Little is known about this device in academic circles, which, if these sources prove correct, the energy contained within Aru may be sufficient to power our Akasha renovation plan. However, this raises difficult questions regarding technological integration. The sages are still debating it.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll reach a compromise once they've argued it out. The people of the rainforest are always cautious when it comes to desert technology. But times of crisis like this leave us with little choice.
Wait, Paimon has... Is this the same Aru we've heard of before? It's sealed off, right? Some sort of prison where the
Well remembered. According to our records, Aru was the most brilliant creation King Deshret ever conceived of. Built by divine and mortal artisans working together. It was a miraculous accomplishment, and it lies hidden deep within the king's mausoleum to this day. That being said, what Aru actually does and why it was built, those are deep secrets we are not privy to. Until recently, I wouldn't have been optimistic that the place even exists. The only reason I'm inclined to believe it now is because we heard it from the Ibis King Thoth himself at his temple. The tale of how the 3 retainers of Al-Akhmar were imprisoned in Aru.
Paimon totally gets that. When Paimon first heard about it, do you guys still remember that? The Ibis King told us...
I think I remember. What causes our rise and fall, what obliterates love and hate, and what determines...
Yeah! If only Nefer were here! She's dealt with the Ibis King before...
Not cry. Funny.
Huh?
Yeah. Had another lady with her, too. Both said they knew you. They contacted the sages, claiming they might be able to offer some assistance.
Really?
Yes, really. One of them said she's made Nod Cry her home. If she's the person you were talking about...
Looks like betting on Aru was the right choice.
See? They're right over there.
Nicole! Never!
Why, hello! We're here to help. It's a good thing we left early. We almost got locked out.
Locked out? What do you mean?
Oh, you haven't heard? An invisible barrier has appeared around Sumeru. No one can leave and no one can enter. Sumeru has become a lonely island.
Are the Fatui behind this too?
Actually, no. This has nothing to do with them. I suspect it's a defense mechanism within Irminsul itself. Irminsul is the source of Tevat's ley lines, after all, and Sumeru is the nation closest to. I imagine this function was put in place to seal the entire region off in the event of serious damage, preventing the disaster.
But doesn't that mean that the people here won't be able to escape to other nations if the anomaly keeps...
Currently, that does appear to be the case, which is precisely why I am here. This is a critical moment for the world. And
I'm surprised you managed to convince her to come back to Sumeru.
Indeed. Even for someone of my wisdom and eloquence, this tested my skills to the... And that was how the ingenious Angel Nicole brought you the perfect person for the job in your hour of need.
That was far more detailed than necessary. Not lacking in I never thought I'd return. Especially not the desert. But life doesn't always go as planned, I suppose. What's Candace up to? I don't think I've seen her yet.
She is still taking care of things in our village. Should be joining us before too long. Oh, and sorry, hope...
We're planning to go to the mausoleum of King Deshret to look for the legendary Aru.
According to records in the Temple of Silence, the mausoleum houses something called Aru's...
We still have some time before we leave, so...
By the way, who are these two new...
Just call me Nefer. I'm based in Nodcry. Did I hear you?
Correct.
Well, I happen to have a connection with one of the 3 retainers imprisoned inside. The Ibis...
That sounds perfect.
Miss Nefer, are you from the desert by any chance?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. There's a familiar air about you. Plus, you mentioned Candace. Sorry, I don't mean to pry. I'm Dia, an Eremite mercenary. My work...
I'm on good terms with Dory, and she's mentioned you all before. It's nice to... However, my associate here is probably less well acquainted with you.
Actually, I'm a little better acquainted than you might think.
Huh?
Huh. Are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Ventriloquism. I have heard tell of it before.
What is it, Kale?
It's you. You encouraged me to report my dreams to the Dendro Archon, and got me to recite...
I have many titles, but let's go with the most pertinent one. I am Nicole Rain.
An angel? Sounds like a big deal, but...
Oh, Well, we're a rather long-living race of beings. Not gods, technically.
Yep, and she's also an amazing
You could say she's a real creative type.
Well, ma'am, if both the Traveler and Paimon give you rave reviews, you must be pretty impressive.
Oh, please don't call me ma'am. I find it so awkward when people get too formal with me. Just relax and be yourselves.
Miss Nicole, if it's okay.
Yes, you may. I can see your heart is filled with confusion, and you are desperate for answers. I also know which questions you want to ask me. Why did you dream of Sumeru City in disarray? Why did those verses soothe the Jinn? Oh, I can guide you to the truth. But
it involves a personal secret of yours. I thought we were going to speak alone.
What's wrong with it? Even the doctors at Dar al-Shifa allow patients to be accompanied by family members.
Well, if Kale doesn't mind her secret being revealed.
Thanks for being so considerate, Miss Nicole. I don't know what secret you mean, but whatever it is...
Closest friends! It's so nice to hear that.
All right. In that case, Kale, are you aware that there are god remains inside your body?
I am. When I was young, I got sick with Elazar. The Fatui convinced my mom and dad that they could help. And there were a lot of other kids just like me there. This creepy guy injected us with some strange medicine. I can still remember the pain like it was yesterday. But thanks to the friends who've stuck by me all this time, anyway. So,
Yes. Those were the remains of Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers.
What?
Fascinating.
You don't seem surprised like the rest of us.
The possibility crossed my mind when Kale recited the goddess of...
You made Paimon jump! What do you...
I was merely passing through when I heard the name of the goddess of flowers. You, with the hat. Are you certain? I sense no trace of the Lord of Flowers within her.
Well, it is a very small fragment. Unless special methods are used to manifest its power, after the goddess passed away, her remains were scattered across the desert. King Deshret gathered all the pieces he could find and buried them in the eternal oasis. But eventually, the Fatui must have found a way to track some of them down. Presumably for use in some You're more shaken than I thought. In one sense, you've been extraordinarily lucky. So many people who yearn for this kind of power never attain it, yet you have coexisted with her all this time without even realizing it.
I don't know what to say. I'm glad that I could help everyone with this power, really. But...
Well, people value their autonomy very highly. Even a well-intended...
I understand how you feel, Kale. But once you get used to it...
I guess you of all people have a good reason to speak on...
2 good reasons, in fact. Incidentally, 3 is the maximum number of Hermanubis' Ba fragments that I could bear.
Let me guess. Because 2's company, but 3's a crowd?
Thanks for helping to explain the joke, Tainari.
Not my intention.
Goddess preserve me. I should take my leave. This boy in his wolf's head hat speaks much too differently from the Hermanubis I remember.
Kale, all I'm trying to say is, no matter how many Hermanubis fragments there are within me, you wouldn't think of me as Hermanubis. In the same way, you...
Yeah, I know. So about that dream I had, was it a warning from the goddess of flowers?
Yes. Just like me, she was an angel created by the primordial humans, born with the instinct. Though her body and soul have perished, her essence retains its natural instinct. The mother of dreams? Lord of flowers and oases? She must have had a
But I still don't understand.
Yes. Why indeed? You weren't the only one injected with god remains, but only in you. I suspect it may be because of the firm will you showed in the face of suffering. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to shoulder any extra responsibility. As this young man said, you are who you are. And all right, any further questions from the family members of the patient? If not, we should head.
Let's move out. Time to put our plan into action.
We all hope it'll work. But will we really be able to open Aru? And even if all 7 pillars of King Deshret agree to let us proceed,
Haven't you handled other big projects before?
I mean, the biggest project I've worked on to date is probably the Palace of Alcazarzaray, I guess? But this is—
Look on the bright side. At least this time you're actually here when Sumeru needs you most. You won't have to come asking me for details after the fact.
Mock me all you want. But now that I'm here, things will be resolved far more quickly.
Kave's self-doubt disappeared in an instant.
Well, this confidence is most gladdening. Now, go and pack your things.
Why, we've not seen so many visitors ever, really. What is it? Closer inspection reveals many familiar faces. To what do we dusty old fellows owe?
You surmise correctly. We are here to carry out a—
Oh, enormous, you say? How large? Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Croco's faces. All this activity is making for quite this— I know that laugh. Lilapar? What on earth are you—
This is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait, as long as you stay alive long enough. When did you 3 get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why, you— Yes, I know. No need to shout. You're right, Lilupar. But didn't King Deshret seal you away? How did you break free, and how did you—
Who knows? Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the chance. Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind. It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to—
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Time is up. We come to you, O 3 ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academia. If we can help you regain your freedom, then please consider lending us your— As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story. So, to demonstrate our sincerity, we are prepared to first resolve the problem.
All right, stop arguing, Croco. And Goatee, don't you start. What's the harm in letting her speak? It's not worth getting so angry about. Forget about her. The 3 questions are the crucial thing here. But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time, you have found a new answer?
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth, you have to—
I think that makes sense.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so. Unfortunately, it brought us no close—
Well, that's simply because it was my answer, not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar wanted then?
Time. And that's not only the answer to the final question. It's the answer to all things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. Only you once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is—
Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time, to bring love and hate right and— This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long, long time.
Are those 3 of the 7 pillars?
Turns out the statues were quite faithful to the sword.
You three seem to be in good
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Nevertheless, after everything you've done for me, I sincerely hope you... Hello, Nefer.
It's good to see you. Thoth, the
Nice. Definitely puts my mind at ease. Seeing you two getting along so well.
Should we maybe introduce ourselves?
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino. And this is the former...
Everything is equally new to us, in truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer than you can imagine.
Let's hold off on the introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give...
You're like a helpless parent. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you two.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions. Let's not...
Fair point.
And I must praise you for your wisdom. Now,
I'm sorry?
Why, your tremendous accomplishments deserve a reward, do they not? You must...
General Mahamatra...
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is facing a crisis.
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to us in one way or another. Whether we were its...
Whatever is wrong with Irmin's soul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon. She felt...
The Dendro Dragon? I'm sorry. The Dendro Dragon is helping to...
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel, a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her...
Oh, I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon lend you her aid?
You can help us make history, too.
A smooth talker. Well said, lad.
Currently, no one can connect to Irmin's soul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications to it...
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation. King Deshret never managed to realize his full vision before his death. Much remains to be done. Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give Aru up...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time, it was not beyond human means to achieve. Modern technology should solve...
This is by no means a threat. But the only reason we helped you escape from Aru was to gain the necessary leverage to negotiate with you. You asked us to state our wishes, and we have. Each one of us here needs your help, as do all the
What do we think, my fellow old fogies?
Since you ask so nicely...
Naturally what? Are you for...
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally. You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within?
We do.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work. Never will there be another chance to come so...
We are sure. Before people can dream...
If your minds are made up, very well. We shall summon our Saint Shezepank, Saint Bennu. Once you surrendered to silence and were buried with King Deshret. But now, we invoke the right to awaken you.
Saint Bennu, responding to your call. 3 kings detected.
Saint Shezepank, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff. What a long time...
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have always opened with that same phrase. In life, death, and...
Al-Akhmar is long gone. What is the reason for this?
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru access to Aru and permit them to perform technological renovations. You have the...
Aru is the pride of Al-Akhmar.
Opening Aru requires the unanimous consent.
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget that while Al-Ahmar was a stern ruler, he was also a god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people. Let us then...
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the 7 pillars, the Dendro Dragon Apep, will never come?
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But Apep is, in fact, healing.
Huh? Can someone attest to this? Do we have any proof?
I ask the 3 kings. Can any of you vouch for the truth?
Naturally, What? It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability.
Perish, you diabolical!
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and...
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around. At times like this,
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you?
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls residing within the Golden Slumber will return to the ley lines. To take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife created by our king to a permanent end.
We understand that well, and we have decided to proceed regardless. Furthermore,
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace. It is just that many do not...
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King, by the grace of His Majesty, guided by his wisdom and will, let the gates of Aru be reopened.